Welcome, collectors and hobby enthusiasts. Thank you so much for joining me for this installment of Diecast Emporium. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a classic construction model. Specifically, this is the CCM Caterpillar D10 Push Dozer. This model was released in 2009, and they released two versions, a standard bulldozer version with a blade and a ripper, and this version that we're going to be reviewing today, which is the push dozer configuration. Some information about the real Cat D10. The D10 track-type tractor was the largest and most powerful dozer in the world when it was unveiled in 1977. It also was the first to feature the most recognizable part of the Cat dozer, the high drive system. Depending on configuration, the original D10 could have an operating weight in excess of 190,000 pounds. A very impressive machine indeed. All right. Let's start out with the packaging. As you can see, back then, classic construction model, their packaging mirrored the era of the machine it was representing, which I always appreciated. It's small details like that that really make a museum quality model just that much better. So you have Cat D10 Push Dozer up here, the CCM logo at the bottom left, your Block C logo and D10 on the side. Cat D10 Push Dozer 1/48 scale precision die-cast model. Again, this is a collector's model, not at all suitable as a toy. Copyright 2009 and the officially licensed Cat merchandise logo. All right, let's get this thing unboxed. You do that by removing these two tape tabs and lifting up. Inside, the model is housed in some styrofoam and tissue paper. Carefully lift up and remove the dozer. There you go. All right, let's take a quick break. Allow me to get the packaging material off the review area, and when we come back, we will begin the actual model review. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back after this short break. All right, everyone, thank you so much for sticking with me. So as I said, this was released back in 2009. It is a 1/48 scale, a die-cast scale replica. The original cost when this was released was just shy of $200, and there were 1,000 of these made worldwide. We'll start off with the decal application. You can see once again the Block C logo here, D10, Cat over here. Turning the machine around to the rear, you have Caterpillar on the back. Same over here with your Block C logo and D10, Cat. And on the front, above the engine housing, you have Caterpillar right here. Transitioning now to the features of this model. It has a detailed operator's cab with some gear levers and a seat. Now the seat is slightly angled off to the right direction, which mimics the seating position of the real machine, where the operator would kind of be angled off to get a good look at not only the machine and where it's going, but obviously a good look at the scraper that he would likely be pushing. You also have a detailed engine with some hoses and components inside. Above the engine, you have a perforated see-through area here, which is drilled through and looks very good. You have anti-slip texturing above here. Grab handles, which are metal and thin to scale. Hydraulic lines, which go to the cylinders. And again, those are painted black and look very realistic. Speaking of things that are see-through or perforated, here is your engine housing here, which again is a huge highlight part of the model. Here's the main version, or main aspect of this model, which of course is your push blade. This is a reinforced blade with the heaviest part being this squared off section right here. This is what would engage a scraper, for example, to help push it along and help fill its bowl, or help other machines in distress that may be stuck on the job site. Some other smaller details that you may not first recognize but help this machine stand out. You have work lights here, some blade detailing along the bottom edge. There's also a fire extinguisher off to the right-hand side. Obviously, this machine has an open cab, more accurately known as ROPS. There are several versions of CCM D10s in 1/48 scale, but this was the initial first release, and those had single exhaust stacks. The newer release had twin exhaust stacks, and as you can see, there is a hole drilled all the way through for the single exhaust. I mentioned during the introduction of the video that the D10 was the first to feature the high final drive, which you now see on most cat dozers of today. And again, the main reason for this is usually one of the aspects of dozers that take the most punishment. The thinking was if you mount it up higher, you would save wear and tear on dozers over time. Taking a look at the back, this is your, once again, your reinforced push block counterweight area here. Caterpillar once again up here, and there's also a drilled through tow hitch back here. Now your tracks are metal, and they do have some tension because they are spring linked together. If we had a surface that had any tension on it whatsoever, these tracks roll remarkably well. And the other working feature, of course, is the fact that the blade does raise and lower. This is the extent that it can be raised high. You can also lower it to there, which is very reasonable and looks quite good. Now, we'll demonstrate what this machine is purpose-built to do. So here's our D10 Push Dozer. Let's bring in a CCM Caterpillar 657B push-pull scraper. So we'll have to imagine now that this scraper is busy getting his bowl full of material, but let's say he needs a little bit of help achieving that. So the D10 would come in, make sure that he is centered right here, and essentially he would give a nice push and help the scraper along. And that's exactly what he would do. So there you go, collectors. That concludes this review of the exciting CCM Caterpillar D10 track-type tractor, or push dozer as it's more affectionately known. As I've said before, this model was originally released in 2009. It is now what's known as CCM's closed edition model, which means, for those of you that may be new, it's no longer directly available from CCM, so you have to procure one, obviously, from third-party websites. When it came out, the original price was $200, and really the appreciation value of this particular model when you compare it to other CCM models is not as high. So that is another appealing aspect of adding one of these to your collection. And obviously, if you talk to anybody on the West Coast, push dozers are extremely prominent there. So you're going to want to add one of these to your collection for all of those reasons. Also, this was before CCM started doing serial numbers on models. You'll notice that there is no serial number and no spec brochure that comes with today's CCM model. So if you get one of these and you don't see a serial number or a spec brochure, do not fret. They actually never came with one to begin with. As always, I'm Tommy with Diecast Emporium. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, as always, please leave them down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, a like rating would be greatly appreciated, and please hit that subscribe button so that you never miss another upload. Until next time, take care, be safe, and I'll see you in the next review.